Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Radiant Central, and I'm your host Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So the other day I did a video about getting organized, and I pretty much shared my view of the foundation of being organized. And that pretty much is to make sure that you're living in a clean environment, and if you're not, it's really hard to get organized. It's kind of like if your kitchen is not organized and clean, it's very difficult to make healthy food choices. It's very difficult to even cook in a dirty kitchen. And so a lot of times people feel overwhelmed or they feel disorganized, but a lot of it actually has to do with just their living environment and what they're living in, what they're looking at every day, and what's around them. And so usually to get started with feeling more organized and feeling more on top of things is to start with your home and start cleaning it out. And so for anyone that watched the video the other day, I want to offer an additional tip with that, because if someone was watching that and they were thinking, I need to clean out my kitchen or I need to clean out my home, I have an additional tip for anyone that's about to get started. And this is something I followed, I would say, for the past 20 years. And this is kind of my rule of being organized and living clutter-free. And that is that when I'm going through, let's say, closets or rooms and cleaning things out, my rule is that if I haven't looked at something or used it or taken it out of where it is in 6 to 12 months, it's time to give it away. It's kind of like if I haven't used something in 6 to 12 months, I'm never going to be using it. And does it really need to be in my home? It might be better off with someone else who will actually use it. And I found that this rule to really be beneficial for me. There are exceptions, obviously, to like memorabilia and like photographs or certain things that, you know, are safekeepings that you want to keep and you want to keep forever and maybe you won't look at for like 10, 20 years. But there's certain things that we have in our everyday life that we never use that we kind of keep for maybe one day we might need it, and it ends up taking up a lot of space, especially if you're in sort of that frame of mind with everything. You can end up just sort of becoming what they call like a pack rat, you know, where you're collecting a lot of stuff that never goes into use. And so we want to avoid that, because things that accumulate in your home, and especially if they're just piling up, that ends up being extra weight on you. You know, and for a lot of people, that's what's holding them back from feeling organized. It's just that they're just surrounded by too much stuff. So if you're going through your stuff, keep in mind, if you haven't used it, if you haven't looked at it, if you haven't taken it out in the past 6 to 12 months, you might as well actually give it away, because you might not end up using it ever. And it's just taking up space. And you might as well either clean out that space or use that space for something else that you do use. Okay, so that's just one of my sort of decluttering and getting organized tips. And this is a great way of getting on top of things, definitely. And this is something that I've done for years, and it's the one thing that really just helps to sort of maintain some order and balance in my home and in my life. So I'm going to end off by just mentioning as well that I'm working on a new 7-day juice fasting program, and it's right at the end of putting it all together. I should be launching it hopefully next week. So if you want to be doing a juice fast, it's going to start at the end of June. June 22nd is the date for the juice fast. And just keep your eyes and ears open. And if you want to be on the mailing list for the launch, go to my website, and on today's blog post I'll put a link for you to add your email address, so you'll get an email notification when the new juice fasting program is ready. All right, so I'm wishing everyone a fabulous day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.